our experience working with ABC Law Centers was great. They were courteous. They always responded when we were calling. I mean, it was a bad situation, but in a bad situation, they were great. I mean, it was really easy to work with them.
We would really highly recommend them because they're very nice and they treated us like their close friends, family, or they're easy to work with. Sometimes when we have trouble with our daughter, sometimes it's very disappointed like that, and so we call them and how's the case going on, and they encourage us like just have to be patient. Everything is going to be okay because the case is really like it's strong. So like we would really highly recommend them.
They always had time for us. They sympathized with us, and I mean, it was like they honestly cared. It wasn't just, you weren't just a number. Every time I called, I don't know if it was just the Oklahoma accent or what, but they always knew who I was. And, it was nice because when you called, I could call them by name, they called me by name, and it was a very good experience. I mean, it was in a bad situation, but, they made it much more bearable than it was originally. Even if things don't work out with your first lawyer, or no matter how down things seem, there's always someone to call. And I mean, the best call we ever made was to Ryder and Walsh. I mean, that call changed my daughter's life, and it's just, they were so nice in explaining everything to us. We never felt like we were in the dark, and any questions I had, when we mentioned, they would explain to us. It's just, they're the people to call. I mean, there's nothing else you can say. They're the people you want to talk with because they're going to work with you and they're going to explain everything, and that's all I can say.
Just thing that I want to add is just to thank to them for the ABC Law because and all the staffs there because like they really care for my daughter and us, and they're easy, like not really kind of being upset because sometimes with us like we have no patience sometimes, but they always have patience with us. So like we thankful for them for working for our daughter's case because we could not have suppose this now because the other lawyer they did not they said that there was no case for my daughter. So
Yeah, I 100% agree with my wife. I mean, we can't say thank you enough. It's just, it's changed my daughter's life, and it's given us hope that we didn't have before. And just, we're excited to see what the future holds for our daughter now, that she has a means to do different things we couldn't before. So it's just, we can't thank them enough. They're awesome people.
the settlement effect in our lives is like it helps a lot for our Keziah's situation, especially like we been trying to bring her to California, and because there is a really good therapist there and we cannot afford it by ourselves because it's too expensive for us, and also the feeding therapist for Keziah because she's having like problem for the feeding, and it's hard just regular therapist here in when we were in Oklahoma because there's nothing happened with it even though it's over a year there already, but there was no improvement. So we tried like like the best for the therapist for feedings, and they're really kind of expensive and we can't afford with that, and so we are so happy about it. And since in our situation with Keziah, it really affects, it cannot work. My husband is on and off his job also because like bringing her to the therapist, and so it affects a lot with us for our living, and like we cannot afford to buy the minivan for Keziah's transportation, And now we bought new minivan, and we have also house that we can, we can put her, equipments, because she has really lots of equipment. So it, it helps a lot with us. When we're not here in the future, at least she have something to taking care of herself.
It was stressful trying to find ways to provide the things she needed. It was frustrating when we couldn't get some of the things we really wanted for her, just to help improve what she's going through. And, now being able to have the means to do those things, it takes a lot of stress and some of the pressure off. You don't realize how much pressure there is until some of it's finally taken off. Then it's like you can breathe again. It's a good feeling to know that she's going to be taken care of, the rest of her life now, and we don't have to worry. We still worry some about her future. We want the best for her, but there's not that level of stress there was before, and it feels amazing. What special resources we're able to get? It's like the minivan. We'd been working out of a old '99 Maxima, and as my daughter gets older, she's closing in on 4 this year, and she's not big yet, but she's getting longer and getting heavier, and I can still put her in out the back of the car. It's just a little coupe, but it's getting harder for my wife to get her in and out the longer she gets, and we were able to get a minivan, and that's made just a world of difference trying to get to different places. She has a number of standing therapies over the course of a week, and trying to get her in and out of that car was getting you can get a sore back, and then when we get home we're coming up 3 flights of stairs, so you'd be beat by the end of the day. But now the minivan just makes things so much easier, and that's been just life-changing for us.
It gives us a lot of base for Keziah's settlement, because it helps a lot, since my husband now he cannot work, because bringing Keziah to the therapist 2 times a week, and I can't drive yet because of what happened to her. I just got here in the US, and then I got pregnant with her, and then something went wrong for for giving birth with her, so I don't have time to go to school for driving here, so until now. So it affects really in our lives. So the settlement, it really helps a lot in our lives and my daughter.
Yeah, it sort of makes it so, things can go back to normal. I'm excited to go back to work now, and it's like there's just not the stress there was. We can find other means of getting her back and forth, to the therapies and whatnot, alternative forms that we can afford now for her, and it's nice not having to worry about the future as much. There's a therapy in Virginia for the feeding, the therapy in California, things we've been looking at online that we would have loved to have done, but we couldn't on our own. But now Keziah is able to do that on her own, and it's awesome, because we're looking forward to seeing what kind of changes there might be now, that there's so many more options open to her. So we're really excited about that.